It's gonna leave a mark because they're not gonna just throw it over this rail. They're gonna like roll it over the rail, and that's gonna scratch it up. Right there, there's a ding right there. Now, there's a spot where there's a chunk missing. There still could be like a dent in the I-beam or something. Just something. But look right next to that pillar, right there. That's a tire. So if we can see a tire that deep, then man, we should be able to see a barrel somewhere. We just gotta hit it with the right angle.
Her name is Tiffany Michelle Whitton, and she was 26 at the time of her disappearance. The last time anybody has claimed to have seen her is at a Marietta, Georgia Walmart. Now, the story goes she was inside and she may have been doing something not legal, and the loss prevention team at Walmart confronted her, accusing her of stealing $20 worth of clothing. Now, the story goes she ran. She ran out of the store and disappeared into the parking lot. Loss prevention officers decided not to chase her, and that's the last anybody ever saw her. I am not here to judge anybody. I don't care what she was into, what she was addicted to, what problems she had going on in life. I am here to see if I can find her. And that's what brings me to today's location. Right behind me, there is a bridge, and we are at Red Top Mountain State Park, just north of Kennesaw, Georgia, and there's a big steel bridge. Now, the story goes about a year later, a Cobb County district attorney said a meth trafficker he had been prosecuting had heard from some of his friends that sometime after Tiffany disappeared, Caudle, who was the boyfriend, and some friends had driven up to Lake Allatoona, north of Atlanta, to the bridge where I'm at right now, thrown a concrete barrel off this bridge. Suspectedly, Tiffany is inside this barrel. Apparently, there was some damage that was done to the side of the bridge, some scrape paint or something from throwing the barrel off the bridge. Police came out, investigated, and they did find this marking on the bridge. So they searched. I don't know how good the search was, how into it they were, but they did not find anything, and that's where that ended up. Now, I've been contacted by friends, and they've asked me to take a second look. I have the sonar, I have the capabilities and the patience, so why not? So what I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna get the boat in the water and I'm gonna spend the day sonaring under this bridge. If I see something that I find suspected, like a barrel or anything man-made, square-shaped, anything that looks like it doesn't belong there, I'm gonna mark it on the sonar. Now, once I get a handful of markings, I'm going to come back at a later date and I'm gonna dive all these marked locations when I have a fellow diver with me, because today I'm all by myself. Now, if I by chance come across something that is 1,000% a barrel, like I know that's a barrel, I'm probably gonna dive all by myself. Don't hate me, I am a professional, kind of. It is a really nice day, it's warming up quick, so let's get in the water and let's make the most of this day.
All right, got everything set up. Check us out. I even got a like a canoe seat. See if that works. These seats aren't nice when you're on them for like 8 hours at a time on the river, but let's see what it does today. Well, started right up, didn't it? All right, let's get this day started. Okay, we are out on the water. We're right next to the bridge where the barrel was suspected to be thrown off. We have a really good picture. I mean, we're looking at the sonar right now. There's lots of boulders, lots of stuff. We're looking at 9 feet where we're at. Water's 57 degrees. It is really clear by our standards. So, whoo, how scary. So if we happen to see something in the water, we could dive on it and we'll still be able to see it underwater, which is really cool. Now, here's the problem that I'm gonna run into really quick. This is the main river channel. So out there in the middle, it's gonna get deep. And I mean, my sonar is what it is, but like if we're looking at 90 feet deep, it is going to be so hard to find a barrel. but we're gonna give it a shot. We owe that to Tiffany and her family, so you know, let's just do what we do and start searching with this sonar. I've made it from that, you know, pillar over to here, almost to this one. We're already at 50 feet. I'm shooting 100 feet each way. I'm only picking up actually 60 feet because of the water column. Now, man, a barrel's like 5 feet, I think, maybe if that. So we're talking like 5 foot increments if I seen one. I think since it's a square or rectangular shape, technically, if you're just looking straight down at it, we'd be able to see it. So I haven't seen anything yet, but as this water gets deeper, I'm gonna have to use down imaging because the side imaging just doesn't work when you get 100 feet deep. And that's what we're looking at out in the center. So, I mean, fingers crossed he didn't throw it off the center of this bridge. Now, here's something else I'm thinking. I want you guys to think with me. Now, let's just make believe you're this guy and he threw the barrel off and he was, you know, obviously you're going to want to get this done quick. I mean, are you going to stop in the middle of the bridge where all the rafters are and all the beams and try and like roll it out? You know, it seems more complicated. So if you're like adrenaline's flowing, you want to get rid of this barrel, where are you going to park? I'm thinking over there where it's really easy. It's kind of off on the side of the road. You know, quick pitch and you're done. Out here in the middle, if you're smart and you know this lake, you would know that's 100 feet deep right there. But let's just make believe this guy isn't that smart. So fingers crossed, when we get over there, we'll search that area really good because it's not 100 feet deep. So we'd be able to see a barrel really easy. But as I make my way out here in the middle, I'm gonna have to start shooting down imaging and hope that that works. Like I said, if I see anything that looks man-made, any, you know, square, you know, pretty much anything that's shaped 90-degree angles, we're gonna mark it and dive on it at a later date. Now, if it's out there in the middle, I'm gonna have to get some advanced divers out here because I ain't diving no 100 feet. That's just not how I'm just not qualified for that, honestly. And that's a serious dive, so you need some experienced divers for that. But anyway, let's keep searching. So something else crazy I found out about Tiffany. I was online doing some research and I found her Facebook page, which obviously hasn't been active in quite a while, but it's still out there and people write it all the time, you know, saying how they miss their friend and stuff. And I looked at the friends section and I noticed that I had 3 mutual friends as Tiffany. And they're guys I went to high school with. So I was like, man, so I reached out to them and I ain't talked to them in probably 20 years. But I asked him just out of the blue, I was like, hey, how'd you know Tiffany? And one guy, like, he was actually good friends with her. My buddy, this one friend, I'm not going to throw out names or anything, but one of my friends was in a band and they used to frequent the same bar and they was buddies, used to hang out. It was crazy. And then the other 2 friends, they knew her kind of in passing, but they met her and became friends, you know, like a Facebook buddy and stuff. But it's still crazy small world, you know, like I had high school friends that knew Tiffany, you know, so it makes it feel, you know, it's not just another missing person. It's like, man, this was a member of my community, you know, like people I went to school with, you know, probably the same age as me again. So it's crazy. It's a crazy feeling when you come across stuff like that. All right, so right here and right here are 2 pretty rectangular objects. So they're looking like it's pretty deep, but I'm gonna mark these and save them for later. So you simply just, let's see here. Do it again. You touch it right there. What is this? Either way, mark it and then go back. And then there's this other one. Mark it and then go back. Now those 2 are saved, so we can come back and find that location at any time. But let's keep searching and see if we can find any other things to dive on. I changed the color up to see if it might help. I'm experimenting with different things because a barrel is very small to see. You can see the concrete barriers for the, not the barriers, but you know, the pillars that hold up the bridge. You can see that well, but look right next to that pillar, right there. That's a tire. So if we can see a tire that deep, then man, we should be able to see a barrel somewhere. We just got to hit it with the right angle. I'm curious, they said that there was damage to the bridge. So like, I'm just seeing if I could see anything. Even if they did paint it, I mean, if they chucked a big block of concrete off the side, you think it would like ding the metal a little bit or something. I'm guessing this bridge has been repainted since then, but there still could be like a dent in the I-beam or something. Just something that could kind of give me an idea. Like, definitely look here, you know? Because I'm coming up empty right now. I mean, I'm seeing little things here and there. Nothing's getting me excited. And the problem with that is I just don't have the equipment to look at stuff that small. Right there, there's a ding right there. Let's make a mental note and go back and look right there really quick. I don't think it would damage the concrete. I mean, it might knock a chunk off. There is one spot up here that's all tore up, but that looks like a car hit it. So it's actually bent outward. Now there's a spot where there's a chunk missing. We're looking at 25 feet deep right here, but I scanned the heck out of the spot already and I didn't see anything. You see that beam right there? It is, it's not a car hit that. Ain't no doubt. But he didn't break through, so that's good for the car, I guess. I just went over that spot where the bridge was damaged, and I can't even find anything, you know, a rock or any kind of shadow that would make me think there's a barrel there. So I'm pretty confident that's not the spot. But who's to say that is the spot and it's just covered in mud? I'm looking for any little thing that just jumps off this bridge that makes me think somebody rolled up essentially a giant slab of concrete. Because just think about a 55-gallon barrel drum full of concrete. It's gonna be heavy and it's gonna leave a mark because they're not gonna just throw it over this rail. They're gonna like roll it over the rail, and that's gonna scratch it up. I believe I have thoroughly searched this bridge with the best of my ability, so to speak. And when I say that, let me show you my proof. Here is my navigational map, and it tracks the path that I took today. And you can see this is the entire bridge, and I pretty much went back and forth underneath it the whole way. I tried to go a long ways, but the wind just blows me, so I wasn't getting an accurate picture. There are about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 possible hits, so to speak. So that could be a barrel right there. That's also very deep section. So I don't have a way of really telling on the sonar. But there are so many cool things out there in the world that can help us with these searches. And as I start doing more searching for missing persons that aren't related to cars, I'm just gonna need better sonar and better tools of the trade. So it's going to take a little bit of time to build that up, because obviously this all costs a lot of money. Let me give you an example of, I think, the next tool I'm going to work for. Now this makes the most sense to me. It's a J.W. Fisher surface dropped underwater video camera. Essentially, it's a camera that aims straight down or side to side, and it's got lights built onto it, and it's got a 150-foot depth rating. And essentially, you could just lower this thing off the side of the boat. If you see something on the sonar that you think might be a target, you could lower this off the side and look. That makes the most sense to me. And no, I am not sponsored by J.W. Fisher, but this looks like an amazing tool that I would love to get my hands on. So I might reach out to them, pitch them an idea. If they don't like it, then I got to save all my dollars, because this thing is about a whopping $3,500. You would think that much money, this thing's going to work great, but that seems like a tool that you'd want in your boat, so you don't have to dive on every target you see. You can lower the camera in, and if it's not a car, then you don't have to dive on it. If it's not a barrel, you don't have to dive on it. It could be a rock, it could be a log, something like that. But obviously this is clear water dependent, so like if you're in muddy water, you're going to go for a swim. But either way, I did the best searching I can, but I am not done with this location yet. I'm not confident that that barrel is not out here. So the search for Tiffany continues. And I also noticed, like I said earlier, there is a wiki page and very detailed about her disappearance and her life. And I suggest you guys look it up. Tiffany Whitton. You'll see it in the description down below. Do your own investigation. Now her name is out there for the world to see. They know that she's missing, and I don't care the kind of past that she had. It's none of my concern. I would want to find her. And since she didn't go missing in a car, she is a lot smaller of a target in the grand scheme of things. So this might take a little bit of time. But either way, I'm not giving up yet. Don't you give up on me either. Been a fun time hanging out with you, but I'm on to the next case. So my name is Jeremy, and I will see you on the next case.